absolute beast of an opponent, but I can tell you this, I'm putting that man to sleep. Whether he be on the ground, whether I'm knocking him out, I'm taking out your boy, and all of you will be cheering. I can just know it like every other time.
Let's check out the best.
Evil laugh.
No, it was maniacal. Both of these cats are maniacs in the octagon. Chimaev at UFC 267 eventually scoops up his opponent and starts barking at Dana White, who's sitting just outside the octagon. Absolute psychopath behavior. Then under 2 minutes left in that first round, gets him to tap out. That is a submission win for Khamzat Chimaev. Now, at UFC 290, it was Robert Whittaker versus DDP. Midway through the second round is where we're going to pick it up, and DDP is absolutely punishing him. Punches to the head, the body. Eventually, Whittaker would drop to the canvas, and DDP ain't stopping until the fight gets called. That is a TKO finish for DDP. But at UFC 305, Israel Adesanya was challenging DDP for his middleweight title then. Under 2 minutes to go, it's multiple strikes to Adesanya, eventually gets him down to the mat, and from there, locks in that choke, and there's the tap. Buddy, that would have happened a lot sooner if it were me. Neither here nor there. DDP successfully defends his middleweight title. At UFC 308, check in on Whittaker and Chimaev. Just over a minute left in the first round. Chimaev has Whittaker down on the canvas, just landing and they didn't even give him a chance to fully lock in that chokehold. Chimaev defeats Whittaker on a submission.
Now, to get into who has the potential to inflict their very best upon their opponent, we've got MMA analyst Chael Sonnen joining us. Before we get into the fight itself, I got to ask about that little dust-up we had at the weigh-in. How much of that was for show versus for real?
Look, I got to tell you, I'm wondering the same thing. I mean, these are usually some real gentlemen, and they have conducted themselves. But the intensity in this fight, and you can feel it, boots on the ground here. The intensity for this fight has picked up. I'm going to predict for you that we're going to have some records. Maybe that's a live gate, maybe that's an attendance, but this fight here in Chicago is huge.
No, I love the fact that we had it cracking right off the gate. Now, despite being an undefeated champ who's defending his middleweight belt for the third time, DDP's still an underdog in this from an odds standpoint. Why can't we underestimate him against another unblemished fighter in Khamzat?
All right, Trevor, and I got to tell you, I'm guilty of it. I mean, if I was to rewind this timeline, the night that Chimaev beat Whittaker to become announced the #1 contender, there was a mythical line that came out. Assuming this fight would be made, 4-1 was the spread. So as much as it looks like DDP is a great underdog here, all the money this week has come on him. 8 days ago, he was still a 4-1 dog. All the money has come in on DDP, and I can feel it too. There is a turning in the tide to the fact that I think I'm choosing Dricus.
Either way, well, we will absolutely get to that in just a moment. But either way, this will be the third fight in history, rather, where both fighters enter on an UFC win streak of at least 8 fights. Now, Khamzat's cardio seems to be an important element going into this fight, right? And how do you see that playing into this specific bout?
All right, in full disclosure, Khamzat's strength and conditioning coach was my strength and conditioning coach. As a matter of fact, I saw Coach Cal yesterday. I trained with Coach Cal yesterday. I don't know that I've ever believed that Chimaev has a deficit in the cardio as much as Trevor. He goes out there and he uses his energy. I mean, he comes out of that ring, whether he crushes somebody or it's a close battle that goes to a decision, but he uses all of his energy. I thought in sport that's what we're supposed to do. I'm not quite sure why he's getting graded down for that.
Now, it's interesting to see that dynamic at play, knowing that dude is going to be zapped regardless of how this thing finishes. But you mentioned you have Du Plessis at the end of the day. Why is that?
Yeah, I buried my lead on that, didn't I? But, I mean, I'm just feeling that Dricus can stay off the bottom. And that's really what this is a contest of. I mean, this is a little bit of an old school throwback to 1993. We got the grappler versus the striker. And Chimaev is on my side of this. Chimaev is not hiding the fact, I got to come out, I got to get him down, and I got to have the energy to do that for 25 minutes. Dricus won't go away. And one thing about Dricus, he's made some very big claims in this sport. He has backed all of them up. He likes being the underdog. Don't forget that.
We got DDP going for 3. He'd be just the second middleweight in UFC history to start his career at 10-0. Chael, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Trev.
Coming up, more SportsCenter in approximately 9-ish minutes.
He's trailing 14-0. Jalen Royals returning the kickoff. But how about the Seahawks kicker squaring up, getting the shoestring? Makes the tackle. It's always love when the specialist can make a play, regardless of how ridiculous it looks. Final seconds of the half. First and 10 at the KC 13, and Drew Lock finding Jay Bobo. Quite the effort off the fade route. Goes up and high points that bad boy. He had 2 touchdowns in the game. Seahawks win 33-16. Back to the Dynamo Bills trying to stretch that lead they have in the NL East over the Mets, taking on the Nationals. And Kyle Schwarber is going to help that effort almost immediately. We were tied at 2 apiece until he decides to go 456 feet. That is tied for the most 450-foot homers in the majors this season with 3. That was his lone hit on the night, but he's got 101 RBIs on the season. His buddy Bryce Harper, in the next at-bat, decided to go deep center field. Schwarber and Harper go back-to-back for 400-plus feet. Phillies go up 6-2. 9th frame now. Bottom of it. Still at 6-2 in favor of the Phils. And some awful news after Joan Duran takes that comebacker off of his ankle. You see it there on the replay. He tried to chase it, but immediately dropped. Both teams' athletic trainers came out to check on him. He would be carted off, but per Phillies PR, the x-rays are negative. He'll be further evaluated on Saturday. Regardless, final news is the Phillies win 6-2.
The WNBA for a couple of double machines. Asia Wilson, Alyssa Thomas. Asia Wilson has 15. Alyssa Thomas has 16. Aces and Mercury. Fourth quarter, Aces down 2. Not anymore. Asia with that to tie it at 71. Then 4:30 to play. Game still tied now at 73. Thomas making it a Mercury 2-point lead. Back and forth we go. Literally the next ace of possession. This time it's Jackie Young pulling up for 3. Aces. Back up 1. 2 minutes to play. Mercury down 5. Thomas. Kalia Copper to drain that corner 3. You bet. Mercury down 2. Then 35 seconds left. Mercury down 3. Thomas. 15 points, just 9 assists, so she doesn't add to her double count. But the Mercury are only down 1. Aces still up 1. Wilson, what are you going to do? She had 30 points. None there, though. She did have 16 rebounds. 16th double of her season. Ball out of bounds. Mercury ball. 3 seconds to play. Satu Sabali. Oh no, turns it over. Chelsea Gray secures it. Aces hang on to win this one by 3. Top, skinnier at the bottom.
I'm always here for mnemonic devices. I'm still going to be trash at geography, though. My one little tidbit about Vermont is that you can get some dang good ice cream out that way in the Green Mountain State. And Scooby Mageza had the honor of doing a deep dive into that fun fact.
We're here at start number 49 in Vermont for SportsCenter's 50 states in 50 days. And today is tryouts. And I'm going to see if I can make the team.
When you showed up, the whole team thought you were our new recruit.
My tryout is over. What do you think about me possibly making this team?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
The first and original Ben & Jerry's right here in Vermont. One scoop, I'm going with a sundae. Wow. Whole bunch of calories, but I burned some today. So
Everything.
we all deserve this. Let's go ahead and chat, reminisce, and talk about that championship run, fellas.
Two of my favorite things from Vermont, Oven, aka Evan Anderholm, and ice cream. So when Oven delivers the ice cream, yes, day made. Let's go. What do we get? Mint chocolate chip?
There you go.
Dude, this is true. I eat ice cream with the fork.
I was
Thank you,
getting
sir.
ready to say-
How do we feel about his new goatee?
I'm all the way here for Evan and the new facial hair.
Are you?
Always. I'm also all the way here
Wow.
for my chocolate chip cookie dough.
We can just get to top plates if we want.
Yeah. Feel free. I'm gonna still have
We
it.
can do a top plays with our mouths full. Why not? Let's start at number 10, just today. Titans and Falcons. Brandon Allen. Gonna air. This is really good, by the way. Just Gunnar Helm. Double coverage. Is that a touchdown? Why, yes. Yes, it is. What do you have over there?
I got chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm here for it. Number 9.
I almost stripped it off.
Back of the net.
Yeah.
That was real solid.
This is not.
This
This is
is-
mint chocolate cookie, by the
I
way.
will also say that this is the perfect
Phillies and
combination.
Nationals.
Yes.
Ground ball to right field. Dylan Cruz waved home. Nick Castellanos. Look at that. The laser. JT Realmuto. Ted, this is like a giant cookie. Phillies won at 6-2.
I was getting ready to do the exact same thing. I got a fat chunk of cookie dough. You can understand any of the words. that
Doesn't
come out
matter.
right now. Number 7. Where the heck we at? Little League World Series, Aruba and Panama. Panama's Eric Rodriguez smooth grabbed it in the inning.
That
Panama
was a
would
poorly timed bite. Hang on.
Yankees card, just avoid the brain freeze. That's the
Victor
biggest
Scott.
thing right now.
Oh, he covered a lot of ground to make that one. Full extension. Cardinals lost, so 4-3. Whew.
Back to the Little League Diamond. Connecticut and Hawaii. Hard hit ball to the wall. Hawaii runner was trying to score from second. The relay comes in, and Jimmy Taxoteridis lays down the tag to get the out. Heck of a play
Nice.
by the cat. I ain't mad at you, young fella. CT would win 5-1.
Women's flag football,
Okay.
USA and Italy. Benita Crouch launches that one to the back of the end zone. Oh, London Jenkins. Hold on. We get to see that again? Look at that.
Go ahead.
USA big win, 33-12.
Number 3, NWSL action. Watching the Spirit racing Louisville.
I'm still eating, by the way.
I was getting ready to take another bite, but then thought wiser. Sophia Pantore. Goalie gets a hand on it, but it does not matter. She goes to the top crossbar. Washington and Louisville would tie, though.
Number 2,
Go ahead.
Rangers and Blue Jays. Nathan Lucas, tracking. Oh, there we go. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Nice. He's almost like closing his eyes like, I don't want to see what happens to it.
Argentina League Soccer, Racing and Tigre. Racing's Adrian Balboa chested to himself